Okay, so it's called Soul Man, and it deals with race. But yeah, you couldn't just call a black guy
I'm picturing the
a
cover.
soul man.
So is the cover of this movie a black dude with a fedora playing the saxophone?
No, that would be a better movie.
Okay.
It's a white guy going, I'm so sorry for what happened. It's just a white guy, and it says Soul Man. Basically, they just couldn't call the movie Black Guy. It should have been called Black Guy ? And it's a white guy going, just don't see this. Just don't. Please don't watch this movie. Please, we don't know what we were thinking. It was written by a white woman named Carol Black.
What? This is
So a riddle twists inside of a soul man, baby. It's about a white guy who can't get a scholarship, and he's a rich white kid. Okay. But his parents say to him, you know what? You've had everything in your life, and we're your rich white parents. We want you to learn what it's like to work for a living. We want to make a man out of you.
Okay.
I've decided to let you pay your own way.
So he gets accepted to Harvard. The first scene is he's in.
So do they put him in blackface so he can understand what it's like?
No,
on the other side.
That ends
of
up
the tracks?
happening. That ends up happening. That's funny. His parents are like, "Oh wow,
that's what I thought."
What if they were like, "Son, we want you to understand what it's like to be a man, but not just any man. A black man."
That's what I thought.
And they just slap him in the face with the makeup, and they go, "He's a soul man." He's like, okay. He looks at all the scholarships, and he's like, "These are all for people who are like, not white guys." And he's like, "Well, nothing there." And then it's pretty early in the movie. It's a very quick cut. So the white guy's talking to his best friend on the beach, I think, and he's like, "Well, I could never get one of these scholarships." And then, like a horror movie, it cuts to his head, like coming into the frame, and now he's in full black guy makeup with like a curly wig, an afro wig, not an afro, but like curly
Jerry
wig,
curls,
yeah, like a black hair wig. And he's just like, and then he's like, "Thanks everybody, I'm glad to be accepted to Harvard." And he's like shaking hands with him. The movie makes a point of saying, "But didn't you take this scholarship away from a deserving black person?" And the movie makes a point of going, the guy goes, "No, it turns out no black people
deserve the scholarship."
No, it turns out no black people in LA wanted to go to Harvard.
Okay.
So, which is weird.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're all rich. I don't know. He's just saying, no, I looked into it, and they make a point of saying no black person in the zone of the scholarship. So if I didn't use it, the money was going to go to waste. And the friend goes, "That's good. That's good that's true. We're letting everyone watching this movie know that you did not take a scholarship away from an actual black person." So then he goes to college, and he's like, "I'm black, and it's great."
So he gets in. Okay, so
he gets in, and at this point, we enters the movie. I think maybe the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life.
Okay,
there's something about this fucking woman. Her name is Ray Dawn Chong.
Oh yes,
Ray Dong. Fuck me, Chong. What is up with her? Why was she so amazing? Like, she was beautiful, but she had this quality where you want to marry her.
Okay.
Like, she was like the best woman you've ever seen, because she's like three things. So it's like she's
Ray Dawn Chong.
She's Ray.
Three things. Yeah.
She's so beautiful, and she falls in love with him. Now he's a white guy. No, he falls in love with her.
Okay,
we don't. But then they do fall in love, right? And then after they fall in love, because they study together, they're in law school. There's all these great black actors. Ray Dong Chong, fucking Darth Vader's in it. What's his name again?
James Earl Jones.
James Earl goddamn Jones. So all these black actors had no problem with this movie at the time.
Is he the dean?
He's the law. He's like the tough as nails law teacher. And so they fall in love. They're going to get through law school together, and then they kiss in the snow. And she says, somehow it comes up. How does it come up? It comes up that she was supposed to get the scholarship. Oh. And she goes like, man, and she has a kid, and she's working a job at the cafeteria, and it comes out she's supposed to get the scholarship, and he's like, "Oh shit," but they said no one was going to get the scholarship, and she said no, but if no one claimed it in LA, it was going to open up to a wider area, and I was next in line to get it. And he's like, "Oh my God, I took the scholarship from this black single mother who I'm in love with."
Yeah.
And she doesn't know I'm secretly white. So then I'm trying to wrap it up. So then But then, see, this is where the movie's good. He's immediately like, I did something wrong. I took an opportunity from a black woman. I'm a piece of shit. See, the whole movie, everyone he meets, every white person's racist. So he moves into his apartment, and Leslie Nielsen is the racist landlord.
What?
Yeah. He's like, he moves in, and he's like, well, we can't do anything about it now. And then Jan from The Office, Melissa Hardin, is that her name? You know Jan from The Office. She's like 20 in this or something.
Okay.
I mean, she's hot in The Office.
Oh, I thought that was your impression of how
21?
racist she was.
No,
like,
she's the landlord's daughter.
Okay.
And everyone's racist except for Jan, who's racist in her own way, which is funny, which is she just wants to like, she wants to fuck black guys, but she's like racist about it.
Okay.
Like she wants to fuck him because he's black, and then the next morning she's like, I felt 400 years of oppression in every thrust.
Oh, God.
No. And he's like, and she's like, and you know what? The stereotypes aren't even, stereotypes are bullshit. Like, it turns out the penis one isn't even true.
It's white.
No, well, he's black all over. Oh, did I mention this? He's taking tanning pills.
Oh,
so they set up at the beginning of the movie that they have a scientist friend who works on super tanning pills.
Of course.
He takes all the tanning pills, so he's black all over his body.
Okay.
But he still has a tiny little penis. And then at the end of the movie, they break up, and then she walks in with a Native American. She's like, so she just has to fuck guys.
But is he
so like in her mind, so they're making fun of liberals that are like self-congratulatory, where she's just like, I'm gonna fuck a black guy and that's gonna make up for everything. And then she goes, can I write a short story about this? Like she's just like so she's racist in her way. And then the Melora Hardin, like the white girl, like the white girl who is the daughter of the landlord. So that's like a tense thing. He can't find out about that. So every white person, and then at one point he gets arrested because he's black. Every white person's racist. And then he goes to jail and he looks and it's all these white guys that are dressed in the same like green little league outfit, or like the same like minor league, like they're all on the same like baseball team or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And they're like, he's like, hey guys, how you doing? He's like, we lost the game. We lost it to a bunch of beep. Oh, boy. And then they beat the shit out of him. Like every so this is a movie about how white people are horrible, and this black guy takes an opportunity from a black woman, and he feels bad about it. And then the last scene is him saying he's white and he's so sorry and he shouldn't have done this. And then we go to James Earl Jones. We sit down with old Jimmy Darth Vader Jones, and he's like, "You should not have done this." You should not have done this. You've lied to us all. What is that? What is it? He's like, you should not have done this. And he's like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give my scholarship to Ray Don Chong, of course. And he's like, yes. And he's like, and I'm going to donate all my money to black people for the rest of my life. At one point, before he comes clean, it's this big scene where his best friend comes in like he's his lawyer, because they have this whole like tribunal thing where it's like the students are going to judge him, because it's like the committee for when students fuck up and everyone's in the audience, which is unrealistic. Jan's there with her Native American boyfriend, and the whole so Jan's there, and then the friend comes in before the big reveal that he's white, because they've also just seen him as black. But I guess he stops taking the pills, and he's like, he does this whole thing where he's like, would we judge him for the color of his skin? It's not his fault. He was raised around weak people. Oh, but they think they're talking about blacks. So he's talking about rich whites. It's a double meaning. He's going like, because if you think about who's lazier than rich white people? He's like, they're lazy. Yeah. He was raised with bad morals, and are we going to judge him for the color of his skin? It's like they think he's talking about black people. He's talking about how being raised rich and white fucks you up. It's fucking genius, right? Yeah. This is the best movie ever. And then he comes out, and he's white. And then he says to James Earl Jones later in The Office, I'm gonna donate my time and and when the best friend's doing the whole speech about don't judge him by the color of his skin, he uses the word reparations. So I think it's like that's the whole thing. It's like white people recognizing when they've done something wrong to black people and paying for it. And he says all this stuff to James Earl Jones he's gonna do, and James Earl Jones like, I forgive you. And he's like, also, I'd like to become a lawyer so I can really help people. And he's like, okay, you can do it. You can do it. And then we cut to the main character going, racism. When it happens to a white guy, it's even worse. That's the point of the movie. The past was doing its best.
That's the theme song.
Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. They were doing their best.